Good morning and welcome to Hollow Acres Homestead. It is really sunny this morning. We've had a week full of rain for the most part, and the sun is out and it is just lovely right now until it gets to be almost noon and we're like 95 degrees. I think right now it's like 83. It's bearable and manageable. It's better in the shade. But I want to show you, oh, we see a whole bunch of crap back there. I want to show you what I did yesterday. I stayed outside until dark, and I went through and I found all the tree limbs, the fallen trees that I could, things that I have been saving. Most of it got buried. It just did. So I was able to save 2 beds worth of logs that you can see here. I started here on this side last night. If we pan over just a little bit, we've got our tree stump, a wheelbarrow I need to move, and this is going to be the pathway down. So on the left of where the pathway is going to be, we are going to have these 2 really long beds. I've already started here with this sandy, loamy soil. Need to top off with compost and add nutrients into the soil. Got a lot of clay and sand. This is what we built the area up with. A lot of clay, a lot of sand. So it's going to take a little while to get the soil to where, you know, it needs to be to make plants flourish. But, you know, by spring, we should be good to go. It kind of looks, honestly, not very good now. But once it's full of soil and I throw some plants in there, it's going to be pretty cool. Now, I did make sure to leave enough space here on this side. We still need to build this up, and I'm thinking I'll probably end up doing, I don't know if it's going to be a long staircase, like all the way the size of the wall here, or if I'm just going to block this off. I really don't know my next steps here yet. I really just am focusing on the beds. It is later in the day, and now what I'm going to be doing is taking this wad of yarn and doing what I've done in previous videos. I'm a visual person. I need to kind of see what I'm working with and what I plan on doing before I execute the process. So what I will be doing is taking this yarn and some sticks used as stakes into the ground and just lining out my area. So I'm going to put on a time lapse and I'm just going to get it done. Well, the deer came through, and not only did they eat all of my beans, but they demolished my archway. Here we can see the archway is falling. What you see here is a tomato plant. I came through earlier today and pulled out all of the bean plants that were left and found a huge tomato plant. This is one tomato plant, just one, and it covers all of this, and I think that that's awesome. And then we also here have, I believe this is a white Casper pumpkin. That has decided to grow through the walkway, and I missed it completely, and now it's over there, so it's staying in the walkway. But the deer have demolished my archway, which sucks and is frustrating. The only thing that I can do now is clean up the right side. Now, we do still seem to have a decent amount of bean plants right here, but I figure, you know what, let's just pull it all down. You can see what's been eaten and what's been left. See, my big arch here has fallen. Looks like they yanked it right on off. So what I'm going to do is first start harvesting all the beans, whether they are good beans or they've gone to seed and they're past, you know, the point of eating. Regardless, I'm pulling all the beans. Then I'll be pulling all the plants out of the ground. Oh, come on. It's raining. I have to take the camera in. It is the next day. It came down raining pretty hard on me yesterday. I just wanted to show you what I did. I went ahead and finished it in the rain. I figured it would just be easiest, and actually it was kind of pleasant. It was really hot outside and it was really nice to be in the rain. So all of the beans have been pulled, and so did a lot of the string that came along with it. Found two volunteer tomato plants on the right side and just one on the left, but that is a monster here. So whenever you do not prune your tomato plants, they will go absolutely wild. This one plant has like 6 or 7 main stems, and it's just going. I don't know what tomato this is. It'll be a surprise. We also have a white Casper pumpkin, which I think I already showed you, but you know, that was yesterday and I have very short memory. Today is yet another extremely hot day. I think it's like 95 today with a heat index. It feels like 101, and boy, does it. We do have a whole lot of clouds. It is an overcast, partly overcast day. So I'm working in between the sun. As the clouds go over the sun, I come out and I do what I can until the sun comes back out, and then I feel like I'm baking. So I've been out here for a little while. I finished that yesterday. But what I have been doing today, really, we've been collecting all the trash all over the yard, inside and outside, and it's taken longer than I had expected. So today on the agenda, what I need to do is fix the archway that the deer demolished, and then I kind of did as well. So I need to fix that. I also am going to be planting cucumbers, probably. I really need to think on that. I think I might need to wait a couple of weeks for the cucumbers. I think it just might be too hot whenever they're getting started. And, well, I want cucumbers. I don't want leaves. So I might end up waiting until August 1st for that, but we'll have to see. Now, I haven't decided if I'm going to start more beans here or if I'm going to do cucumbers. The beans may struggle a little bit in the heat, but the cucumbers are definitely going to struggle quite a bit in this heat. So if I were to wait until probably August 1st, then I think that would be the better time to grow cucumbers, because then they would be my fall cucumbers. As it's cooling down, we should be able to get a decent amount of fruit. So with cucumbers, whenever it's too hot, the blossoms won't get pollinated, they'll just fall off, and you won't get fruit, you'll just get a bunch of leaves. And I want fruit, not leaves. I also need to harvest a bunch of herbs today. We've got sage and thyme, and there's basil and a couple of other ones that I need to harvest and get in the dehydrator so that these plants can put off more growth and I can get more herbs from them. Right now I am standing underneath the big oak tree right here, beautifully shaded, waiting for the sun to just go away. Looks like the sun is trying to go away, so let's see what we can accomplish here. Oh, I jinxed it. Alright, now I've got to my oregano plant. This is actually a lot bigger than I thought that it was, and now the thunder wants to come. Awesome. So we're going to try to get through this as quickly as possible. That is a weed. I went out of the way. Now, I could either come down here and be super aggressive with it and cut this down, but I'm not going to do that. That's not what I want. I want it to continue to branch out. So I'm going to be coming down to the nodule at each leaf cluster, and I'm going to be cutting. That is going to allow the oregano plant to branch out like that of basil, or really anything else that it would put off 2 branches here, and it's going to get bushier. Down there was a bunch growing low at the level. We want to look for those nodules, and that is where we're cutting. I'm going to come down here kind of low, because that is a really big piece. Cucamelon plant trying to grow in between. Alright, we'll go here. I'm just going to do a quick cut now because the clouds are definitely rolling in. And that I already cut. Okay, alright, that's good. So here's what we have left. Oregano will actually get pretty tall like this. Now, We can see here it's starting to put roots off. So what it's not doing, it's not getting tall, it's vining out. And oregano is a great ground cover for that reason, although the main stem does get pretty hard and woody. So what I'm going to do is take it and place it right at the soil level. And the rain that's coming is going to help to water it in. I could probably even try to smush this part down a bit too. That'd be good for it, yeah. Now by covering up this main stem on the oregano, it is going to put off root shoots. That's going to make this just get so much bigger. Trimming away all the weeds there. Leave them to compost in place. Down here in these beds, I did place the thyme and oregano and some other herbs that I had growing. So this is probably 2 or 3 year old thyme. It has been seriously neglected. Half of it's really not in good shape. So what I am doing is pruning it, obviously. And we can see here, even though this one stem sure looks like it died, it's putting on new growth, which is wonderful. But what I want to do is come down here right at this leaf node cluster, and I'm just going to cut it and leave it there. So we are encouraging branching of the thyme plant as well. So what I'm doing first, just to ensure that I don't get anything that I don't want, is I'm cutting off all of the sickly and deadly looking branches. Let's look at this plant in a percentage way. Okay, let's say this is 100% of the plant. It is extremely important that we leave at minimum 30% of the plant. So estimating 30% of the plant would be if I came down here and I gave it a super hard prune. I don't think that that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to leave about 50% of the plant. Now the reason that I'm doing this is because I just put this here 2 days ago. It's very important that it survives and makes it, you know, I want to try to have as much time as I possibly can. So by leaving what was 50% of the plant, this is going to give plenty of branching off space. This thyme is going to get huge and it's going to take over a good portion of this bed, which is exactly what I want. It's sprinkling. It's now important that I, unfortunately, don't really talk you through the process, but I just come through here and just do it because I cannot get my camera wet. It's too expensive. Okay, cutting off the dead stuff. Okay, good. We have just a little bit of sage here, and it's stunted, so it's very important that I go through and clip off. I don't want these yellowing leaves, okay? So here's that. We don't want the yellowing leaves. Fighting against the weather here. But we want it to branch out, just like everything else. Oh, I got mint in here. Heck yeah, mint. Okay, I can't put that in there because then I'm going to get them all. I'm going to have to smell everything. A couple days ago, whenever I put all of the mint in these beds, I also planted, I got 6 Black Beauty tomato plants, and then in that bed there are 6 Cherokee Purple tomato plants. It is past sprinkling and the rain's starting to come down, so I need to take my camera inside. Ooh, this video is going to be spread over the last couple of days because of all the rain. Alright, I have finally made it to the archway. I'm going to go ahead and screw them back in, fix what I'm able to fix, and then kind of see where I need to go from there, because it's the end of the day and my brain's not working anymore. I'm done. So I'm just going to fix this. The idea for the jute twine, it was there for sure, but it's selectively weak in certain areas. Some parts of it's real strong, some parts of it's real weak, so it's not holding. out here tomorrow with some more jute twine to finish this off, and I think actually what I might do, and I didn't want to do this, but I have a white woven netted trellis. I could very well just cover this completely in it. And the reason that I didn't do that to begin with is because it's white. And you can see through it. And the whole purpose of the jute twine is because I can't, when I'm looking at it, I'm not looking at it. Right? I can see through it, which is why I like the jute twine. It didn't last but 3 months. Normally jute twine lasts at least 8 months to a year. So it's breaking down much quicker, which it does that. It's the point of it. And I am almost positive that this is a Casper White pumpkin. You know what? I'm no longer positive. That might be a Cinderella, but it's whitish. So I think that might be the Casper White. I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to Hollowacres Homestead. We'll see you next time.